Back in the day, in the 90s and early 2000, if I'm not wrong, we used to have football broadcasted on KBC. So every Saturday we used to watch football. Yeah, both Saturday and Sunday we used to watch football on KBC, and it used to be fun. Yeah, those were the days when we had teams like Reunion. There was Reunion. There was Rivertex, Rift Valley Textiles, Rivertex. We used to have Eldoret KCC. Of course, we had Gor Mahia and IFC Leopards. We had Sony Sugar from Awendo. We had Mumias Sugar. We had Brookbond from Kericho. Oh my God, Brookbond. That was our team. Huh? Yeah, we had Oserian Fastac from Naivasha. We had Coast Stars from Mombasa. Which other one? We had Utalii FC. Those were the days when football was something in this nation. And I've been seeing how football and footballers have been struggling in this country. You know, those days when football was being broadcasted on KBC, there used to be a certain kind of confidence in this country, in the players. Yeah, those were the days when we had Reinhard Fabisch coaching Harambee Stars. I remember people like Michael Koth, Musa Otieno, and others. Football was something in this nation. And then, funny enough, the President Moi used to go to the stadium, to Kasarani, to watch the game. Kasarani Nyayo Stadium. Football was something in this nation. I remember one time Kenya was playing against Rwanda, and they drew, and the game was decided by penalties, and Kenya beat Rwanda. Was it 4-1? Yeah, on penalties. Onyiso, was it 4-0 on penalties? And then, yeah, Onyiso took all the penalties, yeah, into his hands. Francis Onyiso of Ulinzi Stars. Oh, by the way, we also had Ulinzi Stars. Yeah. Moi, the president, used to go and watch the game, Harambee Stars game. Yeah. And I see William Ruto do the same, and Raila Odinga, which is a good thing. But we need to ask ourselves as a nation, what made football entertaining those days that we don't have today? Yeah. Such small things as broadcasting the game on KBC gave the players confidence. Yeah, the government was serious about football because football was a heritage. It was our culture, a way of uniting the people. We need to ask ourselves, what happened? What did we do right that football was something? Yeah, I remember before he died, Bob Collymore said, Bob Collymore, former Safaricom boss, said that if Kenya and Kenyans, stakeholders of the football and the teams, don't stop corruption. Corruption is when we have embezzlement of funds, when funds that have been allocated to sports. Yeah, and I'm not talking of just football. I'm talking about sports in Kenya, be it basketball, be it volleyball. By the way, volleyball is becoming something in this nation. I remember the days when our cricket team went to play on the World Cup and they won. Yeah, what happened in the days of Moi that we don't have today? The president needs to ask that question. It's a big question. What did we do right? Yeah. We keep saying we don't have money. There's no money for sports. There's no money. Yeah. The solution to sports in Kenya is not promising Harambee Stars millions. Yeah. Because even that is extrinsic motivation. Motivation is when you are encouraged to do something. You are promised something by promising yourself, which is intrinsic motivation that comes from the inside. When you say, I want to do this, I want to become this, I love this, and this is what I want to do. That is intrinsic motivation. And then extrinsic motivation is the one that comes from outside, where people promise you money and millions. Yeah, it doesn't take you far. Our players played well without millions those days. Why? Because football was what they wanted to do. Yeah. That's why we have big names today. We remember them. Musa Otieno, Michael Koth. There is Titus Mulama, Simon Mulama. Yeah, there is, I remember Frederick Ambani and Boniface Ambani playing for AFC Leopards. Yeah, big names. Big names. Because football is what they wanted to do. Alan Wanga, McDonald Mariga. Yeah, these are people I remember. Yeah, Mike Mwiruri. Where is John Mo Mwiruri? Where did they go? These are the people who should be, coaching our boys, our young people, our young boys and girls. Yeah, where is Francis Oduor, the AFC Leopards defender those days? Where is Tom Juma of Gor Mahia? Where is Tom Juma? Where is Eric Ochieng Cantona? Oh my God. What happened with the sports? With sports in this nation? We need to ask ourselves, where is James Kaimba of AFC Leopards? I remember those people. Yeah, the days of AFC Leopards. By the way, I was a supporter of AFC Leopards, so don't worry. The big question today is, how can we restore football in this country, among other sports? Yeah, where is our cricket team that went to the World Cup and won? Where is it? Where is our basketball team? Yeah, where is our volleyball? How are our volleyball ladies being rewarded? Yeah, because they are doing well. Malkia Strikers, they are doing well. They just played recently. Yeah, they beat Vietnam so bad. My goodness, my goodness. How can we restore what we had in the 90s? Football coming to our televisions. I remember K24 used to bring the EPL, at least one game per week. That is something we need to look into. Very, very important. So that's my concern today. Those days were days, man. Ukisikia tu Rivertex versus Reunion, nilikuwa naenda kuona hiyo game. AFC Leopards versus Coast Stars, AFC Leopards versus Utalii FC, Ulinzi Stars versus Sony Sugar. Hizi ni games tulikuwa tunaona. And then we used to have anchors, yeah, bringing to us this game. People like Jack Oyo Sylvester, people like Mambo Mbotela. Yeah, where are they? Of course, Mandela is gone. Mbotela, not Mandela, Mbotela, Mambo Mbotela is gone. But I believe we still have Jack Oyo Sylvester. We need to restore football in this nation. Yeah. Anyway, think about that, and let's see how we can restore the things that used to be a heritage to this nation. Help people, help empower our young people. Yeah, where are our young people? Who is empowering our young people? Yeah, what is the criteria that we use to bring people to the national team, for example? Yeah, how are our young people being empowered? I remember there's the Harambee Stars guy, Austin, was asking the president, requesting the president to renovate a pitch. Which pitch was that? Babadogo? Yeah, he was requesting the president to renovate the pitch. That is something that can empower young people. Yeah, anyway, guys, thank you so much. Mr. President, if you watch this video, I am a man who's been there for the longest time. I watched football in the 90s. I played football. Yeah, I didn't go far, but I played. So I know. I speak from the heart. So anyway, thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Follow me on YouTube, Mzee Elkanah Updates. God bless you so much, and bye-bye.